right. Do we want to kick into this or not? Because look, I set it to record a while ago.
I'm ready to go.
This is good shit. So
Oh, this isn't the show.
no, this is the pre-show.
The pre-show.
This is the foreplay, if you will. All right, here we go.
I'm ready.
Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Let me go and earn my pay. Hard work, work. Put my boots on and lace them up. Hard work, work. Another day to work. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, hard work. I earn my pay. Hard work, work.
What's going on, guys? This is the talk. This is where the dummy thick idiots from the No Sleeves Network get together. We bullshit. We have a good time. We try to anyway. Sometimes you're going to have some arguments. We're going to talk a little bit of politics today. We're going to bullshit. We're going to have some funny stuff. But just thank you to everybody who is here, everybody who is going to watch this on the backside. Thank you guys very much. To my right, we got, there we go. My right, we got the Ginger. Below me, the Vanilla Gorilla and Caddy Corner, my guy, Evo. Gentlemen, welcome into the show. How we doing?
Doing well.
It is great.
Awesome.
Yay.
And as is per tradition, we do have the Vanilla Gorilla back in a car, van down by the river.
Mhm.
And yes, that is an inflatable banana behind him, which is very fitting.
Dave, welcome back to the States, man. Very glad to have you home.
Me too.
I like to see all the cocks you got on your shirts. Glad, you know, and I love the fact that you just got done with Bible study, rocking the cock shirt. That makes it even better.
He's
Yeah.
about to sin.
Yeah. And he just asked for forgiveness, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's is there like preparatory forgiveness that you can get from Bible study for the crimes against God you're about to commit?
I don't condone such crimes.
Fair enough. Well,
Byron, Ginger,
yeah.
how you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good.
How was the game today? You guys went to the Guardians game. I liked it looks like a new hat that you're rocking there. My favorite Guardians hat.
Oh yeah, it was stupid sunny. We were up in the new Pennant district, and stupid sunny. Sunglasses weren't doing a whole lot, so I decided to go treat myself and purchase a new hat. Game was pretty good. Atmosphere was great. We did end up leaving a little early. The family was kind of suffering in the heat, so we came back home and got to watch the extra innings at home in the comfort of the air conditioning.
Yeah, Rokio hit the bomb to walk it off, man.
That was great.
I understand it, dude. Some games, like especially this time of year, it has been hot as fuck here still.
Yeah.
Evo, I know Arizona still been pretty fucking warm recently. But you're getting into those monsoon. Oh, actually, you're just getting off a monsoon schedule.
I got off of a monsoon schedule, and then the monsoons decided, actually, bitch, now we're here. It's been raining consistent in the afternoon for 2 weeks straight, as soon as we stopped our monsoon schedule for work. So it's actually been pretty damn wet here. And the heat's not been too bad. It's been low 80s and stuff like that. So it's actually been relatively pleasant, which is nice. And hopefully it just kind of gets cooler because your boy's thick and he likes cool weather. So he doesn't sweat his fucking dick off.
I feel that. Your boy is also pretty thick. We were at the Guardians game the other night. We walked from Cleveland State down to the Guardians Stadium. It's a nice little trek. But by the time we got there, I was just fucking pouring sweat. And that continued for the majority of the time that I was there until we went into the little inside area where there's a bar and you can get some food. That was air conditioned. Sat in there for a couple innings to cool my big ass off.
But we are missing one today. Matt couldn't make it with us because he's got a family and bullshit, and he loves them. and
And
wants
he
to do
likes to
family
tie
thing.
knots.
Yeah, not lots of knot tying and things like that. In reality, we do believe, and we want to put this out publicly, that Matt probably is on Kamala Harris's book tour because he actually has flip sides. If you haven't noticed, things in the country have kind of gone awry. They just continue to generally seem like they're going downhill in many ways. Some pretty big public events since we were last on here, and it kind of made Matt flip. He was diehard, red-blooded American Republican, and now that Antifa has been designated as a domestic terrorist organization, he has decided that's wrong and is forming a new chapter of Antifa, I believe, in Huntsville, Alabama, which is crazy. And so, for all the feds that are watching this, you might want to look into him.
Absolutely.
Second this message.
I mean, the fact that he continues to not be a no-show, it makes you wonder, worry about what kind of people he may be mixed up with nowadays.
Yeah, the Tyler Robinson types, possibly, which is pretty fucking scary. Which parlay that into make sure to check on your buddies, your battle buddies, everybody. Make sure everyone's doing good. Obviously, this is being recorded on 28 September. We just had another fucking shooting involving a veteran. I don't have a ton of information on it, and I'm not sped up on it, so I'm not going to speak on it at all. But we've had a lot of crazy shit go on in our country over the past several months. It just seems to kind of be devolving worse and worse. It's shitty. It's stuff that we'll probably talk a little bit about today, but we don't want to be all doom and gloom with stuff. So, does anyone have any funny anecdotes? Anything that they want to discuss?
Funny anecdotes? Not necessarily. I mean, I got a funny video that I brought for the day. Other than that, I mean, I was actually part of something really cool over this last week. Got to go down for this student veteran leadership conference. It kind of ties right into what we do here. So Ohio, there's a lot of veterans here, a lot of student veterans got to go down for this leadership conference. And apparently there's a lot of change coming. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of upheaval in the country, as we talked about. A lot of change coming to higher education, a lot of change coming with wording of, DEI programs and things like that. So getting to go down and actually see some of that, talk with just now retired General Harris, and get to kind of learn about some of the legislation and things that are getting pushed through is really cool. I think there's going to be an opportunity for a board or a student board where there's going to be an ability to affect some legislative change. So that was pretty dope. But I mean, that's really the only little thing that I got going on other than the video I got about badass fucking getting old. The cool things about getting old.
Hey, well, I mean, if no one's got anything else, I say we kick off and watch this video because none of us are getting younger. And
Yeah.
I
For
feel
sure.
are going to hit home.
For sure. So I got a couple of rocking chairs out on my front porch, but man, I got to tell you, it just hits differently now that I'm older. This guy's starting to feel that too.
You know what else rips now I'm 30? Rocking chairs. Like they seem so fucking sick, dude. And put it on a porch. Young me probably wouldn't care, dude. But like 30-year-old me, I'm looking at 70-year-old me and saying, big dog, we're locking into the rocking chair. We're locking in the rocking. You know what else rips now?
Dude, I fucking love the rocking chairs. Amber and I got a couple of black rocking chairs that sit out on our front porch. Absolutely love them. I love that old man feeling, just chilling in the rocking chair, having a cup of coffee on the porch, maybe having a little smoke out on the porch, whatever it is that you want to do. But man, rocking chairs, super dope. I even got some folding rocking chairs to take when I got to go sit at like a soccer game all goddamn day. I'm all about the rocking chair now.
I'm not a rocking chair guy yet, but maybe that's just because I haven't really been using rocking chairs.
I 100% like rocking chairs. I don't have a per se rocking chair, like when you can go get a Cracker Barrel or something. But I got some of those rocking patio chairs, and it's nice sitting out here in the cool fall evening It's been warm out here, but you got a nice evening and sit out, rocking chair, watch the chickens peck the ground. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I legit had an experience last night where we're out at the lake or sitting around the fire, and I was sitting in one of my in-laws, folding chairs, and I kind of shifted a little bit and realized it was one of those rocking folders, and my night was changed. It was amazing.
So Evo, it sounds like you got to get on the rocking chair game. I know there's a
Yeah,
Sam's
listen
Club
up.
close, right?
In Tucson, it's hours.
Okay.
So
Or they almost always have some sort of rocking chair option, whether it's like a legit one or one that you can like fold like it's a lawn chair. Incredible.
I see. I have a legitimate hand-built wooden rocking chair in my garage.
Oh, pull
it
that
was
motherfucker out, dude.
like a family heirloom that was gifted to my mother when she had me, so that way she could rock me in the rocking chair when I was a little babe. And so I have that as like a family heirloom, but it is like stored away in the garage in the attic. I don't know if I'm going to pull that one down because I feel like it might not be able to handle
Understood.
the
All the
man I am
quickness.
today.
Well, maybe North Country Evo should bust out his old chisel and lathe and make a rocking chair for a dummy thick
Yeah.
idiot like yourself.
That's a lot of work because I don't have a lathe. Turning wood's not one of the things that I did with the North Country custom woodcraft back in the
No.
day. But I do have a bunch of the other tools. I could probably put together a pretty good just standard chair. For a rocking one, we're asking a lot of me right now.
Just go to
I
Cracker
believe
Barrel.
you.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a Cracker Barrel anywhere close around.
There's one in El Paso.
I know that there's a Cracker Barrel up in Phoenix. I went to the Cracker Barrel in Phoenix when we were up there for a football tournament.
I thought there was one in Tucson.
There might be. I know I did when I was living down there, I did a turn and burn to El Paso to buy a dog, and we had a Cracker Barrel in El Paso. But I don't know if you want to drive 5 hours for a Cracker Barrel.
Probably
It's not worth it. It's definitely never been worth it.
But to get a rocking chair, you probably could go
Order
30
one.
minutes south and get
Order
one.
one off fucking line from Sam's or whatever like home goods store you like.
I was gonna say I probably could find my way into a rocking chair a lot easier than having to transport myself multiple hours in each direction.
I bet you Bisbee, some guy in Bisbee makes rocking chairs. I bet.
Out of hemp and fucking cat pussy hair or something like that.
Man, I gotta get one of the Amish to make me a fucking rocking chair because that motherfucker will last forever.
Forever.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, boys, I got a little thing here that I want to discuss. This does kind of get into government regulation, which I know that we all fucking love. Are you guys familiar with the food foie gras?
So a little bit. It's like a weird duck thing, right? Where they cannot be moved. Like they chain these fucking birds to the ground, right?
Not necessarily from my understanding.
Some
weird, more of the
force-fed.
veal thing. Yes.
Oh, that's the okay. Yes, where
that.
they overeat overfeed the fucking thing, so they just blow up.
Yeah. So foie gras, French term there. It literally means fat liver, and so it's considered a delicacy. They literally force feed ducks like with feeding tubes and stuff, or geese technically, and it results in a fatty liver that the duck is then just harvested of that liver for a delicacy meal, which to me doesn't sound great. I'm not a veal guy. I think Dave said that he's a veal guy.
I
I'm
love the
not.
baby cow.
And I'm not a liver guy either, in general. So, but I had heard foie gras before, fine dining type thing, but didn't really understand what it was. But what kind of got me worked up was I found out that it is actually a banned food in certain places here in the U.S. California has had it banned since 2012. New York City has it banned. Other states have instituted or cities have instituted laws banning it because of its unethical nature of forcing the animal to eat and harvesting just that. And it got me thinking. While I'm all for kind of like somewhat ethically sourced food, uh, I don't fucking like someone saying I can't eat something. Uh, and so it kind of pissed me off a little bit and got me down a trail of different things that can or cannot be eaten that might have bans. Uh, Haggis, which I know what haggis is. It's
Sheep
fucking
stomach, right?
yeah, but that is also banned in the U.S. The consumption is banned in the U.S.
The whole United States?
Yes, in the 1970s, it was banned.
Huh.
Sheep's lungs specifically as a food product are banned or illegal in the US. So you have a black market for haggis in the US, essentially. Certain things like raw milk, which I was aware of, at least most states can't cross state lines and things like that. I love raw milk. It's fucking fantastic for you. Theoretically, it can carry more dangerous microorganisms if it's not regulated. I mean, if you're sucking straight from the teat of a cow, I get it.
Right.
But also extremely nutritious. And there's some evidence, not backed by a lot, and obviously not FDA approved or anything like that. It's not aspirin, but they say that raw milk is dangerous, but the pasteurization fixes it. However, some people would argue that the pasteurization actually has led to a lot of the lactose intolerance in the Western societies as well. I'm curious your guys' thoughts. Should we as a nation be giving a fuck about foie gras or other things, other food items? Personally, if I'm allowed to go out there and smoke a cigarette and potentially give myself lung cancer, I can drink my liver into cirrhosis, but I can't eat a duck liver. What are we doing here?
So all of us have children.
Yeah.
I'm sure at one point in time during your child's lives, they spent a significant amount of time watching videos of those stupid freaking Kinder eggs being opened.
Like
I mean,
the German chocolate Kinder egg that
Yeah, the egg
that
that's
that
got the
were
little
like banned
plastic
because
shell.
kids could choke on them and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which they're still
So
out there.
they
You can get 'em, but they
I've
are-
had them. My
they're
uncle
safe
was
now.
stationed in Germany, and I've had a real Kinder egg. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so in Canada, they can have them. And when we traveled back and forth between Alaska, we would acquire them and open them in Canada, of course. $2,500 per egg if you get caught with them. Yes, $2,500. And you're saying because my kid could bite into it and choke on the egg, like that's kind of ridiculous.
Natural
What is
selection.
survival of the fittest, bro? Like
Yeah.
if your
This-
kid chokes on it, you deserve it.
Overstepping. This is white women at its best in the government. Like fucking you can buy Kinder eggs in the US. However, they are not the traditional Kinder eggs. I
That
believe
have
it
the
is
toy
By
that
the,
you got to
the Kinder
build and
Joy,
shit.
yeah.
they
Not the
they
same.
pop open one half, you peel it open, and it's got a toy in it, and the other half has like some sort of like a pudding that you scoop out with a little fucking spoon or something like that.
Yeah, not the same.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's
I
just
agree.
another one of
This
those things where
It's over. It's not policing. I guess it's too many
regulation.
fucking rules. It's over regulation for no goddamn reason. Just let people live their fucking lives.
But
Like now, I understand. Like if you're worried about the ethical treatment of the animal, sure. If they're like, oh yeah, what we do is we fucking rip these things in half, and then while they're still alive, and then drain the blood out of them, and they can feel it, you'd be like, okay, so maybe we should ban this. I get that. Like,
You know what? I still don't give a fuck because
Okay.
those people get all pissed off while they're fucking eating their cheeseburger. Go to a fucking farm that mass produces fucking beef or poultry or eggs or any of that shit, and you fucking tell me how ethically humane it is. We look the other way on certain things.
That's
for
very
sure.
true.
And it's delicious. It's
Now this-
deliciously looking the other way.
Yeah.
This foie gras, can ducks liver regenerate? Like I know some like people liver regenerates, or do they just like fatten the liver, cut like a portion of the liver, and then like let the duck regenerate, and then keep doing it.
I highly
How-
doubt they're doing any sort of regenerative farming with duck liver.
They are definitely killing they're
Yeah.
horse feeding this motherfucker, killing the duck, and then pulling the liver out.
But they're also not doing, what is that, orthoscopic surgery to remove the duck's liver.
Maybe laparoscopic,
Yeah, whatever. Like, nobody's doing that. They're probably chopping its damn head off, cutting it down the middle, and yanking the liver out.
Yeah.
Delicately, of course.
Now, my concern would be wastefulness. Are we using the rest of the duck for other duck items?
like duck lawns. Like duck is delicious. Have you had duck? I know it's
had
not
that.
very common here in the States, but
I like duck much better than I like goose. Goose was too fucking greasy.
I've had duck breast and stuff here in town, actually. Little old Sierra Vista, Arizona. I've had duck breast before. It's all right. I didn't think it was. I'm not going out of my way, I would say, to find a place that serves duck. But in general, I would hope that they are finding a way to use the rest of the duck for other items, even if it's dog food. I don't give a shit. But like, if it's just for the liver, that seems silly. But that's less of like an ethical question to me. Of like, are we?
You also have to think about who is harvest, like what the item is. It's a fancy item. They're probably not using the rest of the product. Like,
very possible. Very possible.
But then again, you might.
The production facilities also probably are being shut down due to ice raids right now.
So they do part out the bird, essentially. They'll pull the liver out and use it for the foie gras, and the rest of the meat will get sold off for use in Chinese buffets and stuff like that.
Chinese buffets, good. All right. Well,
I had the pleasure of eating at that Sea Buff in Sierra Vista last week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
hey, look.
I hate that place, dude.
You have to go at prime dinner times.
Yeah.
If it's not a normal dinner time or lunchtime, you're out the wazoo. You got to go.
It is one of Sierra Vista's many fine dining establishments.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows about these places, it is the Vanilla Gorilla. He's been around these parts for quite a long time. So much so that we actually were able to get this picture while Dave was here recently. Is that 2008 or 2009, Dave?
That's 2008. And my kids showed you that.
Yeah.
Big Dave Weideman.
Big Dave.
Yeah. And look at Big Dave back in 2008 compared to Big Dave in 2025.
Real prime sexual being right there, if you will.
You haven't aged at all.
That was
a little bit more beard.
That was fresh out of shadow school.
Nice. Doing the wing challenge at Vinny's New York Pizza and Wings here in Sierra Vista. I love it.
Vinny's, man. I miss Vinny's. Vinny's is good shit.
It's good.
I had the pleasure of eating wings with my man Evo, and it was a good time.
Yeah, my better half catch up a little bit, find out about all the weird Taiwanese pussy he was getting overseas and weird shit like that.
That's really special since I was nowhere near Taiwan.
You're keeping it on the download, Dave.
He imported it.
Speaking of going other places and foie gras, you think they got foie gras down in Venezuela?
I doubt they have much of anything.
Food in Venezuela.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that they got cocaine down there because apparently the U.S. is getting involved in doing drone strikes on drug running boats down there in Venezuela.
Which I think is crazy, but also kind of dope. Like, if you're going to have it, like, if you're going to say, we're doing war on drugs, like, actually do war on the drugs. Like, not the bullshit after effect. Like, let's take out the people who are selling the drugs, the war on the drugs.
I believe, like, when drones were brought up as being tools of surgical strikes, this is about as surgical as you can get. Like, keep the thing in the middle of fucking nowhere, in the ocean, and sully the drugs and the drug runners. It was interesting to see that. One of those things where it's like, should we be getting involved outside of our borders like that without a legit like kind of war going on. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what the real true political ramifications are. But also, like you said, I mean, we are the world police,
Yeah.
getting involved. But I look, who knows if it's gonna start sparking off more stuff or not? Maybe we're gonna be having to go down to Venezuela, boys.
Hey, I'm down.
I ain't going anywhere.
I've been south of the equator recently, and it was nice. But I wonder if Venezuela would be as nice as the climate I was in last time.
Did the toilet swirl the other way, Dave?
It was. We just had those chemical toilets. It's like a fancy porta john. You ever use those where like it's got a little flapper? You just pee in it, and it's just kind of like a.
What,
I don't
like an
know.
airplane or something? I'm not.
Is it like an airplane port, like a bathroom or what?
It is, but it doesn't have the suction of an airplane bathroom.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
So you gotta piss with a little bit of force to fucking get the lid to go open up a little bit. And
yeah, and then you
Got it.
step on like a little like an RV toilet. You step on a little
producer Amber
plunger.
coming in clutch.
I don't
Very
know.
nice, very nice. Well,
But yeah.
so concerning Venezuela in specific, I do have a video. It is a little bit of a lengthier one, but I believe that it's perfect and right up our alley for any of our veteran friends who might consider getting back into the military or anyone that is actually still serving if we do end up kind of kicking things off with Venezuela. Some really important information from a funny TikToker, Jason Vest, who I suggest checking out his channel here. But I really wanted to share this with you guys and anyone watching who might end up having to engage with the Venezuelans if this kicks off.
Good chance that a lot of you that follow me are going to have to deploy to Venezuela, establish a beachhead, and combat narco-terrorism. The information I'm about to give you, gentlemen, will save your fucking ass. I want to talk to y'all tonight about jungle pussy. I don't have any experience with jungle pussy. I don't know the first fucking thing about it. But my uncle Danny was a Vietnam veteran, and he told me that those Oriental bitches, while they could fuck like rabbits, their pussy was some of the smelliest he ever smelled. He used to also get really drunk, and he'd be like, Jason, you fucking pussy. I fuck more pussy than you smell, you fucking homo. He would do that shit all the time, and I didn't like that shit. But when I was deployed to Baghdad, Iraq, I was a combat medic. I was deployed to Camp Victory, and I was assigned to the Golby Troop Medical Clinic. Troop medical clinics deal with the same stuff an urgent care does. One time this bitch came into our clinic, and her chief complaint was back pain. Typically, when dirty bitches are worried about an STD overseas, they'll come in with some bullshit chief complaint because they're fucking embarrassed because they're a slut. So I asked the doctor what was going on with this woman, and he goes, I don't know, but that pussy fucking stinks. And the clinic just fucking smelled like something rotten. People were coming into the clinic and they're like, what's that fucking smell? And I'm just pointing, this is bitch's scummy fucking pussy, guys. But the doctor said that he wasn't sure what type of infection this woman had. So I went up to the lab, and as usual, it was Sunday and the lab bitches were at church. Those two bitches that worked in the lab were like, I'm in the choir. I need my time to fucking worship. And I'm like, bitch, you're in fucking combat. Who sings in a fucking choir in fucking combat, you stupid bitches? But those weren't my soldiers, and it just wasn't my business. So I went back down to the clinic, and the doctor's like, what are we gonna do? There's no lab equipment. And I just can't believe that the doctor doesn't know what to do. Like, this motherfucker is panicking. It's like, dude, you're a fucking doctor. Before this, I was a recruiter, and now I'm deployed as a medic. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I shouldn't have to be the one that takes charge. So I told the doctor, I'm like, sir, sit the fuck down. And I told the nurse, take her glove off, take 2 fingers, ram them up that bitch's pussy, and start fucking finger fucking and frothing that bitch's pussy so we can get a sample to the lab. While you do that, I'm gonna beat off because that shit hot as fuck.
I'm sorry, Amber.
As soon as that pussy got frothy, I told the nurse to get a pipette, get a sample, and baby bird that shit into my mouth. She dropped about 6 droplets of that bitch's pussy yeast in my mouth. I switched it around, and it had notes of menthol cigarettes, Rip It energy drink, and black dudes cum. And don't ask me how I know what black dudes cum tastes like. I do. That's a whole different story. That's a whole nother video. Based on the taste, I was able to diagnose that this bitch had a severe bacterial infection in her pussy. I was able to establish an IV. I pushed some IV antibiotics, and we restored this bitch's pussy back to full duty, and she went back to work serving her unit. Another concern with jungle pussy that some of y'all gotta be worried about is if you have females in the unit. You go out on a Venezuelan patrol, and that bitch has gotta take a piss. She digs a hole so she can squat over it and piss in it. By the time she pulls her trousers up, the humidity in the Venezuelan jungle is so high, that bitch's pussy is gonna start stinking within at least 15 seconds. The Venezuelans are gonna be able to smell that shit, and you're gonna have to shoot that dirty bitch in the head just to save yourself so you don't compromise the mission, gentlemen. Stay safe out there, guys. I hope this information helps. Thank you for your service.
So, I know that was a lot to take in. There was a lot of misogyny, a little bit of racial humor, but I felt like it's necessary. These are things that, you know, politicians don't think about when sending us to battle. All right.
Yeah, it's very true. I know that there's not a single senator. Well, I take that back. There's maybe like 4 senators that have any idea what it's like to try to beat their dicks in a porta-john when it's 115 degrees outside. That shit's not easy, guys.
Yeah, it is. If you
No.
don't mind it. If it's not easy, you're not doing it right.
What's the technique?
I need more spit.
What's the technique?
God.
If you need ass, you're not doing it right.
3-knuckle shuffle. You heard it here.
Oh man, that was intense. That was all right. Here we go.
Yeah,
I like it.
Look, that is that's our brand here. If you don't like our veteran humor, I guess this isn't the fucking podcast or group for you. Or maybe I'm just the most degenerate one here because that's the sort of shit that pops up on my feed.
That's all right. We can get into since we don't have any other funny things to talk about, we can get into all the shit that will definitely get us throttled.
Oh yeah.
Because there was a lot of shit.
You said throttle.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It just came to my head.
See, that's the one where you came to your head. Come on. Low hanging fruit here. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get ourselves canceled and by all the respectable media sources out there. We'll get Jimmy Kimmel real quick. And then we'll be back on in a short amount of time.
Yeah, we'll see. So I know we got to get out of here in just a little bit, guys, but I mean, one of the biggest pieces of news that has happened over the since the last time we spoke, Charlie Kirk, and he was assassinated. There's no other way to put it. I know that there was a lot of things that have been said in the media about who Charlie Kirk was a man and all of his politics and all of that shit. And as a group of veterans, I think a lot of people assume that everybody is going to be, pretty conservative. I think you guys are all kind of more on the conservative side. Evo, you're more a little bit in the middle. I'm more maybe a little left leaning than the majority of you guys are. But when we talk about the scenario that's going on in the country right now and the political violence that's taking place and all of the shit that's going on, there's not a single side that's right. I have said this before on Raw Dog Sports. We kind of have lost the plot in this country. I don't understand why this violence is happening. If you didn't like Charlie or his politics, fine. but to celebrate the man's death, to cheer his death, to any of that shit, I feel no sympathy for you if you get your fucking life ruined, you lose your job or whatever. Like, I don't understand how people have become so callous with human life that this differing of opinions. Because Charlie Kirk, for all the things he was, I mean, he was nothing but respectful for the most part and sat out there and talked to people. You could not like the shit that he said. You could, some of it might have sounded racist, misogynistic, whatever. He still just talked. I don't understand it. Somebody else hop in here because I don't want to bogart all this time, especially with. I mean, we have a lot of differing, kind of viewpoints on where we stand politically in this group.
So I think one of the actually biggest points to me, I'm actually writing a blog about this, is the fact that regardless of how you feel about what someone says or what they believe or anything like that, they don't deserve to die in that manner. They don't deserve for someone to have the ability to take their life away based off of those thoughts and beliefs. The one thing I struggle with is the fact that every single one of us here have been put in that position where we've been sent to a place to take somebody's life based off of their fanatical beliefs. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it sounds almost hypocritical, like me saying, you can't kill this guy because he believes something, but we've all been there.
The difference, I believe, though, is the fanatical belief that we were sent overseas to engage with was actually committing violence as well.
Both people knew that they were combatants as well. Charlie had no idea.
To an extent, I mean, if you want to look at it from a non-American point of view, we could be viewed as a country that invaded another country to commit acts of war, and they were defending themselves to an extent. But to me, anyone that was willingly and knowingly fighting was engaging in that battle type thing. Charlie was talking, and that's the thing is, in people that I've talked with, I've never been like a huge Charlie Kirk fan, because I feel like a lot of times, and maybe this is backwards, but like some of those conversations are very heated. They're difficult. They seem antagonistic, but it is better to have an antagonistic conversation in order to progress the conversation. And so like I know that I would see his videos and I would get burnt out on them because it would be like, I know that he's extremely smart. He's going to talk circles around most people. And for the most part, what gets put out is the stuff that is positive for his viewpoint. Of him, again, going circles around people. But I 100% respect being willing to go and have those conversations. Now, was there, I don't want to call it an ulterior motive, but I mean, obviously he's got financial gain for doing turning points, for having those conversations, all of the social media and stuff that they put out. But I don't necessarily blame people for making a living, but also progressing the conversation. And he did give anyone the opportunity to speak, and stood up for some of those people who he disagreed with when they would be, talked down by the crowd and things like that. Like I respect what he was doing, even though I didn't necessarily agree with everything that he said or all of his beliefs and everything. But in the same extent, like he was the same type of guy that would be like, I don't think like gay marriage should be a thing and this and that and the other, but I'm not going to hate you for it. And openly always would say like, I love everyone because in my eyes, we're all children under God. And again, not being a religious person, like that doesn't necessarily mean the same to me as it might to others, but I respect where he's coming from. And it seems like of all the figureheads that you would want to assassinate, like he's the one that makes the least sense because he was probably more towards the middle than a lot of other figureheads who do the same sort of content, but are way more vitriolic and like trying to egg people on into a negative conversation, whereas he was trying to explain things, and maybe I shouldn't even try to say what he was trying to do, but it is my belief that he was trying to push, yes, a conservative narrative and a Christian focused narrative, but he wasn't trying to degrade people for having an opposing view. He was trying to do what Jehovah's Witnesses do or LDS people do. They go and try and fucking turn people to their side by talking to them.
Right. And he would do it, from what I've seen, he would do it in like those places where are echo chambers of their own beliefs where they might not hear things. So you talk and he would, like, so I never really watched his videos until after the incident. Sorry, assassination. It's not an incident. So, but after I watched it, I would watch, it came on my feed more and more, and it would seem that he was in places that definitely disagreed with him and his lifestyle and way of life, and he would just talk about it, and he wasn't really negative toward it. It was just a good it was a conversation.
I agree. So, and that's one thing that I think that a lot of people miss is that he would invite people to talk, and when they were respectful, he was always very respectful back. When they would be disrespectful, sure, he's going to fire back a little bit. I mean, and Dave is somebody who is, you know, a very religious man. Obviously, you're just coming from Bible study. You know, Charlie being so devout in those beliefs, like I'm not religious, but I can completely respect the man for being so devout in his beliefs, being willing to talk those beliefs and have a conversation with people who don't share the same beliefs.
Right. And now, I'm not very educated, but now it's like a martyr, right? So now you had one Charlie Kirk speaking at one place with thousands of people. Well, now in the recent of his death, there's going to be 10,000 people in 10,000 different places doing the same thing and talking and having conversations. Now, nobody's probably going to be as, I'm not trying to say how he was, what's that word I'm looking for?
Influential. They might not be as influential
Right,
individually.
might not be as influential, and they might not have the same demeanor and like as him. They might not
Like
be as
Well, they might not be
Right.
as professional. Yeah.
That's the word. That's a word I was looking for. And but hey, but it's what uh that's what the Bible says for us to do, is go out there and preach to them and tell people about the ways. So I'm not bringing it into religion, but with the Turning Point USA, how he's having those hard conversations and different viewpoints. Now more people's going to go out and have those hard conversations, and hopefully the same respectful conversations as Charlie Kirk did.
Well, and I think people miss a point to this, that a lot of Kirk's political beliefs are based on his religious faith, and conservatism and religion kind of line up really good in that aspect. So it's not even necessarily that he's this big conservative talking head. He had conservative points, yes, but he was very devout in his religion, and he stood on that a lot. That was his main point. Everything he did was about like his religion.
Yeah, there's tons of parallels between Christianity and conservatism, which is why you typically see. I would venture to guess a majority of like registered conservative Republicans are also Christians in nature.
They're devout Christians, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with what you said, as far as if people who are championing and cheering on his slaughter, that they, you know, we're not going to turn and feel bad for them when they get in trouble, lose their jobs, things like that. But I do still feel that this is the United States of America. We have a First Amendment of a freedom of speech. If those people feel that way and want to say that, they're allowed to.
Agree, but they're
Same-
not.
same
They're
way that-
also consequences. The Jimmy Kimmel thing, like everybody, there's consequences to all of this shit. So, like,
Yeah.
if you say that I'm really glad that this person who was just using words gets murdered, I can, as an employer, be like, you know what? That makes me a little worried about the safety of my other employees. Are you espousing some language like that? So I'm going to terminate your employment.
Absolutely.
Now, I think that's entirely within the right of the employer as well, because they also have those rights. But,
Yeah.
There's a fine line in which that whole First Amendment thing works, in which you can say and do. And
the issue that I have with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, and let me be very clear, I haven't found Jimmy Kimmel to be like funny or that entertaining in quite a while. But that's because I don't watch fucking The View. Like, I don't find it entertaining. Like, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure that there's a segment that likes certain shit, including Jimmy Kimmel. My issue isn't necessarily that he was taken off the air or anything like that. It wasn't directly the government saying pull him, but when you have like the chairperson of the FCC basically saying, you know, they need to do something or we're going to have a lot of long nights, and I'm paraphrasing here, but they were exerting some sort of public pressure in order to get this effectively happening. Did the company have to bend the knee? No. But when the government is exerting that sort of a pressure, it bothers me. Now, I understand that the channel that he was on, those networks are, you know, more heavily regulated by the government because of FCC laws. And again, I'm not super smart on all of this, but like, we know that there were other deals being done with Sinclair Media and stuff like that for purchasing of things that the government could shut these down. And there's ways that they could collude essentially to make this happen. I don't want government interference. If it could be directly tied to, hey, his ratings have been bad, they were already on the ropes about whether to keep him on or something like that, and now he does this, and because of the, you know, yes, he has freedom of speech, but we're not going to be his platform to do it, then I completely understand. But I don't completely trust that was the situation. I feel like there probably was some government interference, and I don't think that the government should be able to interfere and say what you can and cannot say.
I absolutely agree, man.
I agree
Dave,
with that as well.
let's get another point from Dave and then Ginger real quick. And then, guys, we're going to wrap this thing up. We got some things we got to get done this evening. So, Dave, go ahead. And then, or I'm sorry, Vanilla Grill, go ahead. Then we'll go to.
No, I was just agreeing with that. How I don't think that the FCC should be pressuring just because of that, and that's why the First Amendment's first, is because it's very important.
Byron, go ahead, brother.
Oh man, I don't have a whole lot to say on it. I know Vanilla Gorilla kind of touched on it. You know, I'm also a religious person. You know, you touched on it. Matthew 28:19 says, "Therefore, go out and make disciples in the nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit." All that fun stuff. You know, that was Charlie Kirk's mission. And honestly, I think in the assassination of him, it's expanded that mission, and you know, it expedited that process.
I agree, man. You're going to see a lot more people who are using their voices. I know that producer Amber, who was sitting backstage, has done a lot of writing recently. I know a lot of people have been very moved, very touched by what has happened. It has affected a lot of people's lives, not necessarily in a positive way, but for some people, they're finding a positive out of the tragedy that comes with Charlie Kirk's death. At this point, I think that's kind of the only thing that you can do, and that you hope that his family, his wife and his children can find some peace, move on, and hopefully continue his mission. Now, I didn't necessarily agree with Charlie Kirk's politics, but I did agree with his mission to have meaningful conversations, difficult conversations, even with people that you don't always agree with. We have a group of people here that do not have all the same beliefs, but we get together as often as we can. We have a conversation. We bullshit. We have a good time. The military is probably the most inclusive group on the entire planet. You have black, white, brown, Asian, gay, straight, trans. Well, maybe still, I don't know what's going on with that. But like that group, this community is so inclusive. But guys, I just thank you for joining. We have a lot more things to talk about as the nation grows and as we continue to come out of all the things that have happened with Charlie Kirk. But I want to thank you guys, especially for having this tough conversation here at the end. But with that, guys, I got nothing else. Appreciate you. Say your goodbyes. Vanilla Gorilla, we'll get you out of here, brother.
Yeah, hopefully we can do this again soon. I know it's the last one I was part of was back in March, and then I think you guys had maybe one or two since then.
Yeah.
But so I'll catch you guys around, but I gotta go. And shameless plug, check out the Vanilla Gorilla Eats on YouTube. There might be a new video coming up soon.
Very nice.
All right. You have a good
All right,
night,
brother.
guys.
Out of here. We're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna wrap this thing up.
Ginger, you got any last parting words?
Oh man, love y'all.
Love
you too, brother.
buddy. And for me, look, the pendulum swings one way and it'll swing the other. It's swinging one way right now, and it might go back the other. I just hope that everyone finds some compassion. Obviously, we've been putting jobs with the military and stuff like that where we've seen plenty of violence and things like that, and we fight so that way. Hopefully, we don't have to have that violence at home. Part of that is us as Americans doing our due diligence with being compassionate to those around us, even those that we don't agree with. So hopefully we can try to move this country in more of a positive and compassionate nature. But with that, I think it's time for us to wrap it up. We'll see you all later for another episode of The Talk.
Hard work.